Testing 1 2 1 chew 1 chew chew chew. Alright, cool, we should be live. So we should adjust the glasses, adjust the mic. What a pro. Alrighty, what is today? It is American Truck Sim, Las Vegas Express. A lot of people pay Truck Sim on Twitch, huh? There you go. So of course, what else do we do today? Rather than drive just American Truck Sim, we talk about what's in the news. And I just watched that Netflix documentary, Great Hack. So I thought we'd start on that once we get rolling here. Now I've got a feeling I'm going to need to adjust my field of view. So let me just remind myself of the buttons for that. And warning lights. Cabin control. God, I can't remember the key binding. This is a good way to start, huh? All right, whatever. Let's just get some driving done. We're hooked up, aren't we? We're going to Ontario because that was the one place we needed to go in Oregon. So let's just get it done. Let's get on the road. Have this chit chat, son. Yeah, so the Netflix Great Hack thing. There's been so many sort of different pieces about we'll try and make it work. Right, where are we?
Okay, here we go.
Here we freaking go, boys. How do we go load with this? I can't remember. I'll have a look once I get around the corner. Oh, it's just some steel. Just a little load. So, you know, there's been a lot about the use of social media over the 2016 election. Seems to be the key event that everyone's worried about, doesn't it? The one in America I'm talking about. People seem to have been really upset that collusion has been
Get ready to turn left.
Not proven between the Russians and Trump. that kind of stuff.
Turn left.
And there's a whole lot of complaints over the way that these companies use this data. And it was, when I watch it, I'm a little bit nonplussed by it. I mean, am I the only one
Go straight on.
who is nonplussed by it? I mean, to me, it's no different. It's no different to how things have always been. I guess it's just better, but it's no different. I mean, political parties, when they run ads, how much truth do you place in any of these ads? I guess it's people having a lot of trouble determining what's an ad, perhaps. But you know, they put an ad in the TV or the newspaper and that type of stuff. And we're all used to them not being that true. Just because it sort of arrives to you digitally, what's the difference? Going a tad fast there, son. Never mind. 6:20 PM. Pop the lights on. There we go. Just the normal lights, thank you. But yeah, I don't know. I just find it a little bit sort of, well, what's changed? Because when I look at it, I just sort of go, well, what did you think they were going to do with all that data? People are upset because these companies are using this data to generate ad revenue. And my question is, what did you think was going to happen with that data? Did you think you were going to give every bit of personal information that you have? People do this, every bit of personal information, every little social interaction, you put it all on one platform where you know that they're storing it, you know that they're keeping it. So, they're using that data to put out ads. And they'll work with anyone. Yeah, they will work with anyone. You can't not work with somebody unless they're, you know, a banned organisation. Unless they're, you know, some sort of terrorist organisation, something like that. You're going to work with whoever's going to pay the bill. You work with both sides. What do you care? Like, nobody complains that, oh, the television station that ran an ad for this particular party. Yeah, they will. Run an ad for anybody. If I was them, I'd run an ad for pretty much anybody, you know. I think it's more annoying to me when they want to exclude someone based on something they've decided is right or wrong. So yeah, just I mean, people who are interested in this sort of privacy laws and all that type of stuff, no one's thought it's a good idea for people to put their information on these places. I mean, in some ways, maybe it is a good idea. You're the type of person who some nonsense post from some stupid electronic media company It's with those bloody horses, mate. They're not right. Something's not right there. Or is it a sign? Oh, okay. If that's going to sway your vote one way or the other, well, you're easily swayed, won't you? It's just a matter of what bit of media you're going to see that's going to make the difference. Is it going to be, on TV?
Keep right.
In the newspaper? So, to me, it's all a bit sort of whatever. I mean, I've watched a few documentaries that are Netflix-made ones. A couple have been really good. But some of them, they're just a bit sort of low impact. They sort of never seem to get to the point. Like, I found that one too. It's sort of... I never felt like there was a point, And to me, there was sort of a guy who was, I don't know, it was almost centered around in some respects, because he'd put in some FOI about what data that they have on him. And that made him a hero. And he, to me, was just as bad as anyone else who's using the platform. He's just using the platform to make himself well known, Wants to see himself as an American hero. He's sort of done one thing, put in an FOI, I think.
Go straight on.
It's not like people are chasing him around with chainsaws to try and stop him do it or anything, Get himself a Medal of Honor. It's all a bit sort of blah.
Go straight on.
Oh, dude! What the hell? Excuse you. I was just about to start overtaking and reaching for the indicator, and my arm was caught under the cord on my headset. And the dude sort of goes, "Oh, just come out now." No. So yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's a bit hard to... When I see all sorts of things
And
where
then turn left.
people are upset about social media, it's always amazing to me, especially sort
Turn
of
left.
people who nowadays sort of consider themselves journalists, how seriously they take every little thing that happens on the platform that they're...
Go straight on.
They report something that somebody said on Twitter, like they were given the Gettysburg Address. These things are just nothings. And I'll grant you that it's sort of become important, but I find it hard to just take it seriously. If people have reduced themselves to the reporting on and dispersing political information, political reporting, the news of the day over Twitter, you know what? I feel like people need to get a bit more serious. And people seem to have real difficulty nowadays driving home a point.
Go straight on.
And what I mean by that is they sort of report on this person said that, and then this person said that, and then this happened. Oh, but this person said that. And they sort of look at you and sort of like, well, you know what that means? It's sort of like, well, no, you need to draw a conclusion and then back that up with some facts. Don't just tell me what this person said. So what? Maybe I don't think it's that important. But you're looking at me like it's sort of important. I mean, this is Australia, and thank goodness we don't have, our political system's not the best, but the American one's has become a bit strange, hasn't it?
Go straight on.
The thing where so there's that thing at the moment, isn't there, with the Democrats argue with each other about who's going to be the candidate. So they all sort of go and slag each other off, and then they're going to work together. And none of them can sort of... Again, none of them can sort of drive home an argument. No one has a winning point because they're sort of like, well, I don't want to... Because you can sort of just completely win that argument, but you're worried about being, oh, he was too harsh. I mean, when I look at these people, I just wonder how they get to where they are. It's the same in Australia. The people who are in politics, I mean, to me, generally, not very talented people, and they're not even very likeable people. You know? And the problem is apparently what they're good at is politics. I don't see it myself. And some of our politicians here, they're not likeable. They can't open their mouth without saying something stupid that gets them laughed at on the news. They don't seem to have anything particular to offer. They're not really talented people. They're not even good at politics. I mean, I'll give Trump this. There's something about him that people respond to, and a lot of people hate him and a lot of people like him. So I say this, well, at least he's good at, playing a character, if he is playing a character. I don't know. But some of our politicians here, and I sort of get the impression of a lot of the US ones too, I just don't see anything about them that makes me say, yeah, I can see why a lot of people have put some money your way and they want you to win. Yeah. You've got the charisma even. Let alone any talent. There's something strange in the way that these parties work, where I think anybody who is sort of good and reasonable and normal, and there's easier ways for them to make a buck or to get through. Going into politics. I mean, anybody who's any good at politics is not the sort of person you want actually doing anything, is it? You sort of say, do you want the sort of person who talks a good game, will jump horses midstream as long as they have to, just sort of say anything, or pretend to be whatever it is they think they need to be? So do you want that person in charge of anything? Not really, but that's what it takes to sort of get to the point where you're going to be in charge. That's why people, if you remember that show, Yes Minister and Yes Prime Minister, I mean, I'm probably going back here too far. But it's turned out that it used to sort of make fun of the public service, and the public service would stop the politicians from achieving things. And it was kind of written as, it was written as Thatcherite propaganda, basically. But to me it turned out the public servants were right. They were right to stop these people doing anything. Because they did things for short-term expediency, not long-term planning. This thing we have, you know, in both our system, the US system, where... And the US system to me is very hard to fathom even, about how Congress works compared to the presidency. Where you have it essentially a party that is in power. And when you change governments and you change parties, you just get this flip-flop between ideologies. You know? One year you're totally in favour of something, the next year you're not.
Keep left and then turn left.
You just keep having to sort of dismantle and rebuild programs. Clark Griswold. To the point where you sort of
go straight on.
Spend so much time undoing work, rather than what you would sort of hope would happen is, let's just sit down, get some people who know what they're doing, and work out what is the best way to run whatever it is that we're talking about here. Whether it's the postal service or the health system, whatever it is, what is the best way to run this? And now let's run this as well as we can, rather than just continually messing around. Please pull in to the Wally station. Oh, okay. No worries, mate. Apparently I overshot that one, eh? I mean, when you think about the whole thing, it just doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Now, for example, in our country, one side of politics is more interested in the free healthcare than the other. And unfortunately, fortunately, the side that doesn't want free healthcare is sort of trapped politically, where you're not going to get rid of it. Not that we really have free healthcare. You still pay a lot for healthcare in the free healthcare system, but certainly a lot less.
Go straight on.
Than, say, the American model. But they just sort of flip-flop between we're supporting the health system and then we're doing everything we can to privatise parts of it. And then we're supporting the health system and we're doing everything we can to privatise parts of it. It's much more efficient to just sort of say, how are we going to run this? Let's run that as well as we can be. Let's make a decision on how this is going to run and then make it world class. It's a bit twisty, eh? One of the problems with American politics is it's sort of, I don't know about other countries, maybe if there's a language barrier it's a bit different, but it's certainly infecting our politics. I mean, there's genuinely people who changed the way that they voted or made a decision on how they were going to vote in our last election based on the political climate in the United States. Which to me is just crazy. I mean, especially in the short term. I mean, I think the United States is a good example of why you don't want to go down certain roads. I mean, there's a prime example there of how basically a completely deregulated private healthcare system doesn't work. It in no way is going to keep costs down or make it accessible to the majority of the population. You know, it just doesn't work. No matter how hard, they'll keep persevering with it because people are making money out of it, I know, but it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I think, you know, there's a perfect example of why you shouldn't follow the American idea on that one, because it doesn't work. We should stick with the idea that other countries have. Where is it really working? Oh, the guys in such and such that's got the best healthcare system and the most affordable healthcare system. Well, we should sort of look at that model, you know? I mean, there seems to be a concern amongst a lot of people that unexpected event on your... Well, I can't see anything because of this truck.
Keep right.
Well, this is no good, is it?
Finding a new route.
It's got to bring me around the same way. Which is pretty bad. Can we turn around here, do you think? Oh, no, we can't... we can't go up there. Oh, this is going to be difficult. There's nowhere for us to turn here. This is the worst.
Keep left.
We're not going to have any alternative but to... let's just go here and see where we can go. So if this is blocked off, we've got no alternative but to go through there. No alternative. Yeah, there seems to be a real worry about in certain segments about what's happening in the States in terms of
Keep right.
how would I describe it? Sorry guys, but we got no alternative here. That's how we do it. How did the truck like that? Did you guys cause the accident? What's going on there, mate? The truck did not like that at all. Never mind. We'll fix the truck when we get to Ontario. Yeah, people are kind of worried about certain extreme social
Get ready
justice
to turn left.
ideas taking hold, I think. Because when they sort of look at what's going on in America, they go,
Turn
oh,
left.
that's madness. But again, I'm not sure how representative that is, or, you know. Hey mate, what are you doing? Is everyone waiting for me? Well, that's very kind. I've got an important load of steel to get here. So yeah, people seem to be very worried about that, and they sort of think, oh, I better vote a certain way or we'll end up with that here. And of course people sort of play on that a bit. And so go, people aren't talking about that very much here. Except for young people, I guess, who are very caught up in the zeitgeist of American politics.
Right. Turn right.
Oh, I was flat to the floor on the brakes then. Absolutely flat to the floor. Unbelievable. Sometimes the braking is a bit inconsistent in this, isn't it? I mean, that was dead flat.
Keep left and then turn left. Turn left.
I wonder how our truck is now. Still the same. I just don't think there is somewhere to fix the truck here. Never mind.
Get ready to turn left.
These people must appreciate it when you drive past their house with a truck at 2 in the morning.
Turn left.
So yeah, I mean, where did we start on this? It was the oh, the Netflix documentary.
Go straight on.
Again, I sort of think people have watched too many movies because they have this sort of thing where they think that some piece of information is going to come out, become public, and then there's going to be an earth-shattering change in the way that the world works. You know, I mean, what's come out? Yeah, Facebook gives people access to demographics when people run their ads, so they can target their ads. And they'll give plenty of access to people who are going to pay them well. And people who are on this platform,
When possible, make a U-turn.
make a U-turn. I totally won't
It's
be
all
doing
over
that.
now.
And should we give that a go? We'll give that a go. That's fine. That's like going to Nubco. Is this going to be in the building? How cool is that? There we go. Okay, so let's check our driver. How is Annette going? She hasn't picked up that high value cargo yet. Come on, lady. Job market. Jobby job. Ontario. So check out that. We've picked up all of Oregon now. I still haven't been to Jackpot, Nevada. Got heaps to do in Washington. $56 a mile. That's a good earn. I wouldn't mind going out to Washington though. Seattle, Washington. Bellingham, Washington. Seattle, Kenwick. It might buy a nice little run. Let's go for that one.
Drive safe.
Will do. Will that door open, do you think? It does. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Turn left. Go straight on.
See, I sort of don't think I quite understand how much action people think will result
Get ready.
of certain
Turn
things
left.
being known. You know? I don't really understand.
Turn left.
Oh, People can advertise on Facebook and target people. And if they do that with certain types of ads, they can sway the decision that they make. Thought I had a look there. Must have been a bit of a second-rate look, huh? It's like, yeah, they can. I mean, they've done that with advertising and product marketing since there was such a thing. Well, you can get your truck fixed up here, and there's a fuel stop. We are speeding a little bit, but that's okay. Let's service the truck. That's wheels. Sure. Got a lot of wheel damage. Let's refuel while we don't have the trailer on the back. So yeah, you know, they go to these congressional hearings and such admits this, but so what? Are they going to bring in a law to ban advertising on Facebook? I don't think so. Hang on, that's a bollard. How do I get out of here? Come on. Back where we came from, huh? Don't mind me, I'm just passing through here. I mean, sure as eggs, they want to use the same thing. They want to use the same thing themselves next time. I mean, for the sort of rubbish that I get on these things, both sides are using it, aren't they? Both sides of whatever. I guess perhaps it comes down to money, like if you've got enough money, you can do more advertising, but that's been true since there was advertising.
Keep left and then turn left. Turn left.
You're gonna let me in, bro, man. Has there been a change where they're like extra nice here, or what's going on?
Finally, we are here. Ready to roll.
Ready to roll. Try not to click the wall back there. It's a long load on here, huh? We don't want to take too many weird detours if we can help it.
turn right.
Look at that, perfect. That is in no way blocking the street.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Oh, come on, we can make
Turn
it.
right.
Made it. That is totally a legitimate move. Now let's have a look at the map. Where are we going again? We've got fuel. Pendleton we've been through. Kenwick is where we're going, isn't it? There's no unlockables here, so we're all good. We don't have to do anything basically, except get there. This is nice for a change. Itchy nose. So yeah, you know, they play these things about, you know, some Senate inquiry or something like that. And you know, let me know when they throw some rich guy in jail for lying or not telling the truth to a Senate inquiry, or mark it on my calendar. But I mean, at the end of it, what's really come out that I'm supposed to be shocked about? People use the information that people willingly put into these things, knowing that it could be used against them. Oh, woe is me. I gave away all my data and then people started giving me ads. I'm the victim here. And let's face it, if in the States the result had been different and the other sort of person of dubious character had been elected, apparently all this would have been fine, because it would have influenced people one way or another. So, yeah, I don't know what it is that people expect. They talk about this monstrous... The fact is they're not doing anything wrong. If you know, this Cambridge Analytica, what is it that they're doing wrong, really? They're using those freely available tools as well as people can. I guess the whole thing boiled down to, wasn't it, that Facebook had effectively transferred some of that data to the third party, apparently. But the fact is that data's there and Facebook can tailor it. So I don't know, you tell me, are you worried about that? Or are you not worried about that? I certainly think there's a deteriorating situation in the States that, you know, isn't exactly ideal. It's one of those things, isn't it? If say this guy gets, say somebody got their data, because in the end they wouldn't give him the data. See, this is the thing. You've got to give people the data. Oh yeah? Well, you didn't. So what? Well, we gave you a fine. Cool, I'll keep operating as I am then, you know? It's not like you get the fine money either, is it? If you put in a freedom of information thing in Europe and they don't give you the data, who gets the money? You don't get the money. So you've got neither the data or the money. Then say you did get your data, your 5,000 pieces of data that they've got on you or whatever. If you want to know what they've got on you, scroll through all your social media accounts, mate. I'll tell you what they've got on you. They've got stuff that you've entered in. Or that when you go to the shops you swipe some stupid loyalty card. Bing. Oh, he likes to use multivitamins or whatever. Oh, they know that I buy multivitamins. Man. Yeah, they do, mate. So does Target. Think, you know, what data is it that people sort of say, oh, that's too much, you shouldn't know that about me? The killer is it's freely available or freely given mundane data. It's just they have a lot of it. It builds up a picture of how you think and what you like and what you don't like. You know, if somebody subscribes to Guns and Ammo magazine and buys a lot of ammo, so I think that person is pro-gun. Oh, really? So yeah, what are they collecting? They're collecting a whole lot of data that you're giving away because you keep giving it out. Oh, man, that was a tad fast there. Oh. Differential lock? Do you reckon the diff lock will help? I'm not sure, sir. Let's have a look here. Look at that. That's pro spec right there. I think we may have to reverse. That's it, mate. Pull up right behind me. There we go, nailed it. Let's see how you handle a situation like that. What have we got here? Massive... Thank God we put that diff lock on. Get off me, you stupid thing. I'll turn that off. You only need that when you ride the wall like that. It's the thing, I knew it was too fast. I was on the brake. This is more for the podcast value than the actual driving value. This is for sure. I mean, perhaps it's because I'm of a certain age. You know, that I've always viewed these things as tools. You know, these platforms as tools. It's a tool that should do a certain job. And other than that, I don't put any more than the bare minimum of data on there, you know? It seems to me that, say in the example of Facebook, I'm not sure how interested people younger than me, but people who are particularly younger are. It seems to be particularly relevant to people who are I don't know, every oldie seems to be on there. And then people who are sort of currently in their 30s, you know, mid-20s to mid-30s, seem to be really stuck on the Facebook thing. Whereas everyone I know who's sort of my age, they kind of use it for certain things. Myself, it's a, you know, it's a business marketing tool. I mean, I don't put anything on there that's not related to mostly business acquaintance, if you know what I mean. A bit of rain. Whoa, a bit of lightning. How is our truck going after that? 1%. There you go. Mounted the curb, bent a wheel probably. Wheel's out of balance. Can bypass the nearby way station. Alright, I'll do that. So yeah, people who are sort of, I don't know, under 25? Am I right in sort of thinking that those people are mainly more interested in Instagram and Twitter? I mean, Instagram's one of those things where, gosh, it seems a bit pointless to me. Again, unless it's sort of a marketing thing, and it's not a marketing tool that I understand really. It's very hard for me to understand how certain people gain traction in terms of how are they being noticed at everyone. In terms of, you know, ladies in bikinis who is striking a pose next to something they're being paid to strike a pose next to. Like, there's so many people who are doing that. How does some of them get traction compared to others? Do they have to get themselves in the news for 15 minutes? You know, that's why it's so important for them to go onto stupid reality TV shows or something. I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, I sort of, on an individual level, if you can make bank by doing that, why wouldn't you? What do you do? Nah, strike a pose every day, mate. Nothing's ever as easy as it sounds. But if you can make your money doing that, rather than something else that's stupid, sitting in an office or whatever, you'd have to do it, wouldn't you? So you can't sort of laugh at the individuals. I mean, when people are sort of in certain worlds, they seem to think that that world is the most important world that there is, you know? One of those worlds at the moment is cooking, isn't it? You know, chefs, the importance of people who cook food has seriously become overrated. I don't know what it is with these things too. There's this sort of elephant in the room where you sort of go, this guy's dished up something with some just ridiculous ingredients. It's not cooked properly. It looks like rubbish. He wants to eat it, but he's famous for being a chef, you know? No one wants to sort of say, mate, this seems a little bit extravagant and pointless.
Keep right, and then exit right.
And while we're on that,
Exit right.
one of the most annoying things is people just undercooking meats now. I mean, I'm seeing now people sort of doing things like pork, chicken and duck medium. I'm pretty sure in some parts of the world that's illegal, you know? Say chicken, you have to cook chicken properly. If you don't cook it properly, you're 100% relying on a really high food quality. And some sushis are a bit different because they effectively cook it in acid, you know, not heat. When somebody's sort of put a piece of chicken in a pan and it's half cooked, I can bypass that as well, can I? Cool. Unless the cartel has paid them off. Oh.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right.
But yeah, it's just a pet peeve of mine. You know, there's certain meats that have to be cooked. I don't care what anyone tells you. There is no
Keep right, and then turn
benefit
right.
to flavour of not cooking chicken properly. You know, oh, chicken blood is the best.
Turn right.
And my theory is that it's all about restaurants. It's a lot harder to cook meat properly. You know, if you cook something properly, you can overcook it.
Go straight on.
And it takes longer. Or if you're sort of going for medium, there's a whole range that sort of people will accept. So you sort of get to there, that's good enough. And then
go straight on.
They can serve it up quicker. I mean, what is with the term plating up? What do you mean plate up? We already have a word for that in English. It's called serving. I served the chicken, plated it up. You just put it on a plate. Pretty much everyone in the human race for, 10,000 years put their meal on a plate in some part of the world. Ancient Greece. I'm plating up. God. So annoying.
Keep right, and then turn right.
I mean, for the most part, cooking is a mundane activity. Another thing too, I think it is it's a way to find something to do for people who have nothing to do. You know,
keep left and then turn left. Turn left.
Come on, Clark, let's go. Oh, you bastard, really?
You have arrived at your destination. Your route guidance is now finished.
Very good. go, that'll do. So yeah, it just gets a big whatever from me, basically. So I think I am going to, let's see, continue. Do I want an extra long distance? These jobs are long enough at the moment, aren't they? Let's pop on another high value. Let's check our driver again. See if she's... Still hasn't unlocked the high value. Okay. How is our bank going? Pretty good. Should we hook up another job? I'll hook up another job, then we might call it a day, and I think I'm going to come back and do some car mechanic simulator. So, job market, freight market. Let's go somewhere else in Washington. Grand Coulee. Oh yeah. $40 a mile, Grand Coulee. Looks good. No, we'll go to Grand Coulee. Set as GPS destination.
Drive safe.
Hey mate, don't let me back into you, will you? I'm sort of getting used to the field of view now.
Turn right.
Let's just hook this up. Hook this up. We're going to make it. Made it. Totally made it. I made that, officer. No problem. So yeah, have we covered this great hack thing?
Go straight on.
Yeah, straight on over this bridge, huh? Oh, dude. Oh, you're the worst. Don't you hate when people do that? There's no one turning, we're fine. Don't have all day here, mate.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Whoa. Did we get air there? I hope so.
Turn right. Get ready to turn left. Turn left. We are finished.
Freight market. Oh, I thought it was facing the other way. It isn't facing the other way, it's facing this way. Parking brake engaged. Finger problems.
Let's go.
Alrighty, let's set up our map. How long we got to get there? Let's see, Sunday 12:14. This must be a right on time one, is it? I think it is. Let's check out the map. So we can't really have too much of a detour, but there's none to take anyway. Alright, so we're going to leave it there. I'm going to kill this stream, then in about 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, come back and do some car mechanic sim. So let us end the stream there.